Development coming in from Bangladesh. On that note, there is a development that I would like to reflect and tell my audience. The Ministry of External Affairs has confirmed that External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar will be visiting Pakistan for the SCO Summit. Now, that's a big development where the External Affairs Minister is now going to be headed to Pakistan for the SCO Summit. Brian on the telecast with me. Brian, give us details of the SCO Summit that at this point of time is being organized by Pakistan in Islamabad, and S. Jaishankar, the External Affairs Minister, now heading over there.
Well, definitely, Megha, Randhir Jaiswal has made a big announcement where, MEA spokesperson says that External Affairs Minister Jaishankar will now lead a delegation to Pakistan for the SCO Summit, which will be held in Islamabad on 15th and 16th October. And also said that he has even seen reports that, that have been taken into Pakistan and even warmly welcomed there. And he also goes on to say, Randhir Jaiswal goes on to say that it is not surprising for them that an Indian fugitive, rather he was talking about a fugitive also, but now again to the fact that the big news that comes that yes, External Affairs Minister will be leading important delegation to Pakistan for this very important SCO Summit that will be held in Islamabad on the 15th and 16th of October.
Okay, because up until the last 24 hours there had been no response of the External Affairs Ministry, the Ministry of External Affairs, talking about yes, they had confirmed that they have gotten the invitation for the SCO Summit taking place in Islamabad, but they had nothing more to share whether India would be participating in it. So that has been cleared up until now. Let's actually cut across to the Ministry of External Affairs press briefing that is taking place, where this big announcement has been made.
We intend to raise this issue with Malaysia, where he's based, and with Pakistan.
Aishi.
So this is Ayush Jaiswal from NI. A follow-up question on West Asia. If we could have the figures of how many Indian nationals do we have in Lebanon and Iran, also any contingency plans that we are formulating to evacuate our citizens from there?
Okay. Ishi.
This is Yeshi Seri from the New Indian Express. Who's going to go for India for the SCO Summit in Islamabad? And also had Dr. Jaishankar already met the Sri Lankan President. Any update on what the conversation was like?
Siddharth.
Hi, sir. Siddharth from Beyond. Sir, when it comes to South China Sea, the situation remains tense. We have seen skirmishes in which Vietnamese fishermen have come under attack, allegedly by the Chinese assets by their forces. Can you comment on that?
Okay, we have 5 questions here. First, Huma, your question regarding the situation in West Asia. We had also issued a statement a few days back expressing our deep concern in what's happening in the region. We had said that the escalation of violence, the deterioration in the security situation is a matter of deep concern for us, and we had reiterated a call for restraint by all concerned and also protection of civilians. It is important in our opinion that this particular conflict doesn't take a wider regional dimension, and we urge that all issues be addressed through dialogue and diplomacy. On the question of repatriation from Iran and from Israel and other countries, there are flights which are running. So as of now, people who want to leave the country, they have that option. I understand that some people had reached out, their families had reached out to our embassy. They, of course, because the flights are running, they have the option of leaving, but at this point in time we don't have we are not encouraging people to we don't have an evacuation flights, so to speak. If that option is already available to people. Ayushi, you had a related question. So in Lebanon, we have around 3,000 people. Most of them are based in Beirut, in North Beirut and in North Lebanon, so which is away from where the fight is taking place, skirmishes are happening. We also have a large number of contingent in the UNIFIL, where Indian soldiers are in the blue helmet as part of the UN forces. In Iran, Ayushi, we have some 10,000 people. Now, of these 10,000 people, 5,000 people are students or residents in Iran. They are undertaking medical education or other education, as also they are there with their families. So that number would be somewhere in around 5,000 or 6,000. We also have a large contingent of seafaring community in Iran, but that's a floating population. They go there on a temporary basis and then leave the country. So that population again would be in the range of 3,000 to 4,000, 5,000. So that is the figure of Indians in Iran and as also in Lebanon. In Israel, we have something like 30,000 people who are there. Large number of them, as you know, they are caregivers, but also we've seen a lot of Indian workers have also gone to Israel recently. On the contingency plan, yes, at this point in time, we don't have, we are not, some of them did get in touch with us and we've advised them that, if you want to leave the country, the option is available because flights are running. Reza, your question regarding Zakir Naik. Yes, we have seen reports that he is being fitted in Pakistan. He has been warmly welcomed there. It is not surprising for us that an Indian fugitive, a fugitive from Indian law, justice, has received a high-level welcome in Pakistan. It is something which is disappointing, let me say, condemnable, but at the same time, as I said, it's not surprising. Now, as to what passport he went there, I am not very clear. What papers he went there, we are not very clear. But let me also remind you that when the Prime Minister of Malaysia was here, this particular issue was addressed. ये हमारे लिए कतई आश्चर्य की बात नहीं है कि जाकिर नाइक को, जो कि एक भगौड़े हैं, भारतीय कानून से भागे हुए हैं, उनको पाकिस्तान ने अपने से गले लगाया है, स्वागत किया है और उच्च स्तर पे स्वागत किया है। ये निराशाजनक बात तो है ही, निंदनीय भी है, लेकिन जैसा कि मैंने कहा कि हमें इससे कोई आश्चर्य नहीं हो रहा है। Ishi, on your question on our participation in the SCO Summit, yes, the External Affairs Minister will lead our delegation to Pakistan to participate in the SCO Summit, which will be held in Islamabad on 15th and 16th, I understand, of October. As regards his meeting with the Sri Lankan President, that meeting has happened. First in the morning, he met with his counterpart, the Sri Lankan Foreign Minister, and thereafter he called on the Sri Lankan President, where he conveyed the wishes of our President and our Prime Minister, and a deep desire to build on our strong partnership with Sri Lanka, take this partnership forward, do all that we can to strengthen our age-old friendship, relationship, and warm ties. On the question of South China Sea, at the policy level, you know what our stand as far as South China Sea is concerned. We stand for freedom of navigation, we stand for freedom of overflight, for unimpeded commerce. We want that all disputes in the region be resolved through peaceful dialogue, and we stand for that international rules-based order be followed based on UNCLOS, the UN laws. So that is our position, and we want to reiterate in response to your question. We want to reiterate our position once again. Sir. Pranay?
Sir, Pranay Upadhyay, Amalujala se. बांग्लादेश में अल्पसंख्यकों की स्थिति को लेकर भारत ने कई बार अपनी चिंता जताई है। इस समय दुर्गा पूजा का उत्सव पश्चिम बंगाल में भी चल रहा है, पश्चिम बंगाल में भी है, और इस तरह की रिपोर्ट्स आ रही है कि कई दुर्गा पूजा पंडाल जो है वहां पर जबरन वसूली से लेकर मूर्तियों को तोड़ने की घटनाएं भी हुई हैं। इसको लेकर क्या भारत ने बांग्लादेश की सरकार के साथ कोई मामला उठाया है, और इसको लेकर भारत की क्या टिप्पणी?
प्लीज।
Padma Rao, Sri Lanka. So I had a follow-up to Sri Lanka actually. There is an IMF delegation which happens to be in Sri Lanka at the same time. So I was wondering whether there is, since India was a guarantor for Sri Lanka at that level, whether there is any interaction planned between Foreign Minister Jaishankar and the IMF. Thank you.
सर, कृष्ण मोहन शर्मा, भारत एक्सप्रेस से। मेरा सवाल भी बांग्लादेश से है। जिस तरीके से कुछ इन्वॉयर्स को बुलाए गए हैं, वापस किए गए हैं, तो ऐसा तो नहीं लगता कि भारत के साथ वो अपने संबंधों को और ज्यादा सरल करना चाहते हैं?
ठीक है, मधुरेंद्र।
सर, मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज़ से। मेरा सवाल एनएससी को लेकर है कि पिछले दिनों जब डॉक्टर जयशंकर और वांगी की बातचीत हुई थी, उसके बाद ये एक माहौल बना था कि डिसएंगेजमेंट का प्रोसेस तेजी से चलेगा। लेकिन हाल ही में इंडियन आर्मी की चीफ ने जो बयान दिया उसमें साफ तौर पर कहा गया कि स्थिति तनावपूर्ण है और जब तक पूर्ववर्ती स्थिति बहाल नहीं होती तब तक हम ऑपरेशनल रेडी रहेंगे। तो क्या डिप्लोमेटिक चैनल में जो बातचीत हो रही है वो ग्राउंड पे ट्रांसलेट नहीं हो पा रही? क्या वस्तुस्थिति है?
ठीक है, ब्रह्म प्रकाश।
सर, ब्रह्म प्रकाश दुबे, न्यूज इंडिया से। मेरा सवाल है, बांग्लादेश में हाल ही में कुछ तस्वीरें आई हैं कि नवदुर्गा शुरू होते ही वहाँ जो है मूर्तियां हैं दुर्गा की वो तोड़ी गई हैं। उसको लेकर भारत की क्या प्रतिक्रिया है, क्योंकि वहां पर कई लोगों ने त्योहार मनाना भी बंद कर दिया, इस तरह की खबरें भी आ रही हैं डर से। थैंक यू।
ओके, फर्स्ट प्रणय और ब्रह्म, आपका दोनों का सवाल एक ही है या एक जैसा है। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, जहां तक अल्पसंख्यकों की बात है, हम लोगों ने कई एक दफ़ा और हमारे यहाँ से उच्च स्तर पे भी हम लोगों ने इस बात को कहा है कि जो वहाँ पर अल्पसंख्यक के लोग हैं, जो माइनॉरिटी वर्ग के लोग हैं, उनकी सुरक्षा होनी चाहिए। और हम चाहते हैं, ये हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन है कि वहाँ की सरकार हमारे जो माइनॉरिटीज़ वर्ग के लोग हैं, जो अल्पसंख्यक हैं, उसको सुरक्षा प्रदान करेंगे और जो भी उनकी ज़रूरतें हैं उनको पूरा करेंगे। जहाँ तक दुर्गा पूजा दशहरा का सवाल है, जैसे मैंने कहा कि इन प्रकार की घटनाएं जो होती हैं वो ठीक नहीं होती, अच्छी नहीं होती है। हम लोग चाहेंगे कि दुर्गा पूजा का जो संदेश है वो बहुत एक सुखद संदेश होता है और ऐसे मौके पर हम सभी लोगों को जो दुर्गा पूजा मनाते हैं उनको हमारी तरफ से बहुत सारी विशेष शुभकामनाएं देना चाहेंगे। यहाँ पर दूसरे अन्य देशों में, दुनिया के हर कोने कोने में ये त्यौहार सबके जीवन में खुशहाली लेके आए, ढेर सारी खुशियाँ लेके आए, यही हमारी चाह है और हम सबके लिए यही चाहते हैं। साथ में ये भी मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि हम लोगों ने जो बात कही है कि माइनॉरिटीज़ की सुरक्षा ज़रूरी है, तो उसी में निहित है जो हमारी बात दुर्गा पूजा दशहरा की बात है, वो भी उसमें निहित है। Padma, your question regarding IMF delegation, I'm not aware if our minister is meeting the IMF delegation. If we have that interaction, we'll surely let you know what transpired, what was the discussion. But as I understand, our external affairs minister met the foreign minister and thereafter he's met the president of Sri Lanka. He called on him. कृष्ण मोहन जी, देखिए, किसी भी देश में कोई राजदूत हो उस देश का, उस राजदूत, हम लोग भी जाते हैं बाहर में, वो तो हमारे सरकार के ऊपर होता है। तो वैसे ही बांग्लादेश के सरकार के ऊपर ही है कि वो किसको राजदूत भेजे, किसको हाई कमिश्नर बनाए, वो उनका अपना मामला है। हमने भी देखा है कि कई रिपोर्ट कई देखी है कि कुछ राजदूत उन्होंने अपने का स्थानांतरण किया है, उनको वापस बुलाया है। ये उनका अपना निजी मामला है। मधुरेंद्र, आपका सवाल भारत चीन को लेके है। देखिए, जहाँ तक जो भी भारत और चीन के बीच में जो बातचीत चल रही है बॉर्डर को लेके, सीमावर्ती इलाकों को लेके, वहाँ पर शांति बहाल करने को लेके, उसके बारे में हम समय समय पर आपको अवगत कराते रहे हैं कि हमारी क्या बातचीत चल रही है, वहाँ क्या डेवलपमेंट हो रहे हैं। WCC, खासकर WMCC मैकेनिज्म है, उसके तहत हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने इस बात पर भी अपनी बात रखी। अभी हाल ही में न्यूयॉर्क में एशिया सोसाइटी में जब उनकी वहाँ पर एक गोष्ठी हुई थी, वहाँ पर एक कॉन्फ्रेंस था, उसमें उन्होंने रखा था अपनी बात। तो जहाँ तक भारत और चीन का सवाल है, मैं कहूँगा रिश्तों का सवाल है, और जो चल रहा है सीमावर्ती इलाके को लेकर जो बातचीत चल रही है, वो उसको आप जो हम लोगों ने अभी तक कहा है और जो हमारे विदेश मंत्री ने कहा है, उसी को, वही स्थिति है हमारी अभी दोनों देशों के बीच की रिश्तों की। उससे ज़्यादा मेरे पास अभी आज आप लोग से शेयर करने के लिए, आपसे साझा करने के लिए मेरे पास और चीज़ें नहीं हैं। प्रकाश जी, आपका भी सवाल मैंने जवाब दे दिया। प्रणय का सवाल और आपका सवाल जवाब दोनों का एक ही था। आगे बढ़ें प्लीज। या
This is Avinash from the Asahi Shimbun. Sir, Japan's Prime Minister Mr. Shigeru Ishiba has talked about Asian version of NATO. So what does India think about it? What is...
Sudhi?
So thank you, Vishwani Ranjan from Bloomberg, sir. The Foreign Minister's visit to Sri Lanka, can you give us an understanding whether the Foreign Minister discussed the Indian projects in Sri Lanka, because we understand that those are under review, and if so, what is the kind of response we have got? And also on Sri Lanka, sir, we heard the Foreign Minister during the elections talk about the Kachidivoo Islands and India's sovereignty. Was it raised with the new government in Sri Lanka?
Enjoy.
Sir, on the 15th of September, in the morning, there were 2 ground commanders' conferences between Indian forces and the Chinese forces. One in the Vasundhara Gap and the other also close by. Now, there were, between the 13th and 16th, there were 4 other meetings, not just in Ladakh, but also in Sikkim and Arunachal. Now, if you could kindly tell us what happened at the meetings, and if these meetings are part of a larger plan.
Okay. Swasni.
This is Swasni Heather from The Hindu. To begin with, your announcement that it would be External Affairs Minister Jaishankar leading the delegation for the SCO Heads of Government meeting in Islamabad. I just wanted to ask if External Affairs Minister will have any bilateral meetings, particularly with his Pakistani counterpart. The second question is really about what you said on Mr. Zakir Naik being in Pakistan. Earlier, when we had asked about whether the issue was raised with the Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim during his visit to India, we hadn't actually got a confirmation. So thank you for telling us that it had been raised specifically. Could you tell us at what level, what sort of level you have taken up the concerns about Mr. Naik's visit to Pakistan, particularly as it seems to coincide with Mr. Anwar Ibrahim's visit in Pakistan as well? And just a last clarification, the MEA press release says that Mr. Moons is coming on October the 6th, whereas you said October 7th, so I just wanted to confirm what date his arrival is.
Okay.
सर, मैं विशाल पांडे हूँ एबीपी न्यूज से। मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या ईरान और इजराइल के बीच में जो तनाव बढ़ रहा है, इसको कम करने के लिए भारत कोई प्रयास कर सकता है? क्योंकि जो आर्थिक हालात है उसका असर भारत पर भी पड़ सकता है, कच्चे तेलों के दाम बढ़ रहे हैं, और इसके साथ ही पाकिस्तान को लेकर, एससीओ को लेकर जो आपने अनाउंसमेंट की है, क्या विदेश मंत्री का दौरा भारत पाकिस्तान के रिश्तों के बीच कुछ सुधार लाने के प्रयास के तौर पर देखा जाए?
Let me come back, huh? We have. Avinash, your question regarding the comments of the Japanese Prime Minister, I need not reiterate, but our External Affairs Minister has already spoken and spoken on this matter and clarified what our position on this particular issue is. Sudeep, on the visit of External Affairs Minister to Sri Lanka, he's gone there. The visit is for today. He went there in the morning. He'll be returning in the evening. He has met the Foreign Minister. He's also called on the President of Sri Lanka, the newly elected President of Sri Lanka. He has reviewed the relationship, I guess all aspects of relationship in his engagement with the Foreign Minister, and assured support to Sri Lanka's economic rebuilding, and also that we want to advance this relationship in keeping with our neighborhood first policy, as also our larger vision of our Sagar policy. So we will be sharing with you a readout of his visit. As it concludes, he has several other engagements to follow during the day. On your specific question, I do not have an answer for that, but overall the visit is going on very well. Srinjoy, regarding your question on the meetings that have happened, I don't have a readout of these meetings, but I will surely let you know if those meetings have happened and what are the kind of conversations that have happened. But
for more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.